Hey, it's Tim with Malibu Creative. Hey, I am working from home today, like many of us are. Hey, if you are working from home, maybe you've had to pivot. We are all navigating biggest change of our generation. The biggest change, the crazy thing is we're all going through it. And the cool thing is we're all going through it. Everybody is going through a similar experience. And while we're doing this, we're making a video series where we're just talking to people about how are you adapting to change and what is your industry doing. And so today I'm excited to introduce Angie Prather. Angie Prather is with the Wichita Chamber of Commerce. Disclaimer here, we are proud Wichita Chamber of Commerce members, and we're proud of our community. The Wichita Chamber, I believe, is a world-class chamber. I really have. We've been a part of a lot of chambers. We started in Malibu, California, and when we came here to be a part of Wichita, we joined the Wichita Chamber, and it's been amazing to see the type of community and atmosphere they make. They truly care for the businesses, and I think the things that we're doing here as a chamber, the things that the chamber is doing, is influencing and changing chambers all over the country. I know they care about our community. I know they care about small businesses. So today we reached out to Angie just to ask her, how is the chamber, an events-oriented organization, adapting to a community when you can't gather? And so I hope you enjoy this. TJ had a great interview with Angie, and I know it blessed us, and I believe it's going to be important for you. So enjoy.
Hey, Angie, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. So are you adjusting to this work from home environment?
Well, like everybody else, I'm giving it my best shot, and so far it's working. It
Absolutely.
feels a little clunky, and I don't feel as efficient as I should or could be, but we're making it work.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Like it feels like it's weird because you think like, oh, working from home should be easier, but it feels like a different skill set. Like it's a different set of muscles that I just haven't used before. It's really an odd sensation.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, Angie, tell me about who you are and kind of what you do.
Okay. My name is Angie Prather, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the Wichita Regional Chamber of Commerce. So my team does all the marketing and communication for the chamber in its efforts to educate members and promote them and to get them involved in networking opportunities so that they can build and grow their businesses.
Absolutely. So how long have you been with the chamber?
Oh gosh, I think it's 7 years now.
Okay, that's awesome. And so I'm fairly new to getting connected with the chamber, but I get to see you all the time when we're at the different events that we've been to. It's just been a really great experience for me. So how's COVID-19 kind of affected how you guys do what you do?
Right. Well, it has had a major impact on us and, of course, our members too. We have had to really, first of all, we had to kind of go through the process of deciding, are we canceling? Are we deferring? Are we rescheduling as we went, before we had the state directive to shut things down, and we shut things down pretty early, and it was very, very difficult for us, but because it was our Small Business Awards mingle, and that's such an exciting event, and it's such a great way to highlight our members, but we made the decision with the help of Newman University, who was hosting it, that it would be better not to do that. And so then we went into the mode of changing everything. And then we had to decide, okay, now how are we going to provide these important services to our members when we can't do it face to face anymore? How are we going to make the best of this situation? So it's been a fascinating challenge. And we've jumped right in and started using tools that we weren't familiar with. And the great thing is we have so many subject matter experts who are members who can help and guide us through these very difficult times. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with them and really make the most of a difficult situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's an interesting experience because for us, it's definitely been, we were super excited about the mingle. Like we had planned to go. Our whole team was coming because it's such a fun event. It's such something to get to celebrate those folks in our community who are kind of making an impact. And it just like everything at that, like it was like that Wednesday where like everything just kind of ground to a halt. It was like, okay, like here we go. And it's been for us, it's been like this experimentation with like what's working, what isn't working, like how are we going to continue to connect? What does this look like? Because some of our partners as a creative agency have totally shut their doors for a period of time because of the nature of their businesses, but others are still working. Like they're still, their teams are still moving out. Like, we work with some HVAC companies who are still like, they're active. Like we all want air in our homes to work. And so we need those folks still out and about. So it's been a really interesting season of experimentation for us too. So is there something like that you feel like in particular in your past, something that may have been like a win, something that was something where you got a chance to learn that helped you kind of learn how to pivot or get ready for something like this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think throughout my career, dealing with everything from Y2K to 9/11 to various crises like that, I think you learn that it's important to be very resilient and responsive and resourceful. You just have to keep going. And the great thing, like you said, right now is all the experimentation that's taking place. That is fabulous. And that's what I keep reinforcing to our team. It's the wild, wild west. There aren't any rules. People are forgiving. We can experiment, and we should experiment. And like you, we just keep trying different things to see what will hit, what works best for our members, because this is such a critical time for them. And we are so passionate about doing everything we can to make sure they have the resources so they can continue to operate. And it's heartbreaking for us to see them have to even temporarily close their doors, because we know how difficult it is to run a small business, how difficult it is to be an entrepreneur under the best of circumstances. And so this has been very difficult for us to watch, because they're not just our members, they're our friends. And we want to do everything we can to support them. So we've tried to experiment with different things. And one of the things we're doing right now is a stay-at-home checklist. So in an effort to highlight our members every day, we're producing a checklist that we share on social media channels. And we try to feature a retailer, because you can still shop online, and many of them are offering a great delivery service. We try to feature a food service, because many of them are offering curbside pickup, that kind of thing. And then we're trying to offer something fun that maybe one of our nonprofit members does, one of the museums, or one Douglas Design District, they have an app you can download into a mural tour. So there are lots of wonderful offerings that our nonprofit and attraction members are continuing to offer. And this is such a nice way to highlight them. So instead of overburdening people with lots of things, we're kind of trying to stick to 3 things that encourage people to stay home, but still support their local retailers and food service providers and attractions.
Absolutely. I saw that on Twitter the other day, and I thought it was such a fun idea. And I love that it's concise, because sometimes in this kind of thing, it's like, it's like, now I have to go buy tacos from everybody, because I feel like everybody's struggling. And, it's this thing of, you feel like you have to do everything, and having 3 a day makes it a nice, manageable thing. And I saw that in like Jenny Dawn's Cellars there, they were doing a giveaway, which I thought was just such a fun way to interact with people, to connect, to show like, hey, we're still present, we're still working. Even if we're not open for events. I think it's just a really clever idea. So kudos to you guys for that. And I agree with you. Like, it's one of those pieces where it's this resiliency, and it's this long-term struggle to kind of figure out how to be ready to go, how to pivot really on when especially because none of us have experienced anything like this before.
No.
Like, I can't remember. I've been trying to explain to my kids, who are 5, 7, and 9, like, this has never happened in Dad's lifetime. This has never happened to my parents' life. It's just, we have no reference point for what to do here, or how long it's going to last, or what it's going to look like. And so it's been hard to kind of pivot through that. But I can see kind of these changes that are taking place in our community. Do you have any predictions or any guesses as what kind of long-term changes we're going to see as a community, things you wish you could see about like who we become, who our country becomes kind of through this?
I think that's such a great question. I think it's something we're all thinking about in terms of, there has been such a wonderful sense of collaboration. The innovation that we've seen from members is just astonishing, and it's so fabulous, and I love highlighting it whenever we can. So I think if we can continue that spirit of collaboration, some of these new tools really do break down barriers. If we can continue to use webinars, which, we'd always kind of tinkered with, but never jumped in full bore with that. I think those are great opportunities to break down barriers and be much more inclusive, because you don't have to leave your desk if you're an entrepreneur who has a deadline, but you still want to participate in a webinar, or it can be recorded and you can see it later. So I love the idea of breaking down barriers, collaboration, innovation. And what I really enjoy personally is that everywhere I go, I feel kindness and concern for each
Yeah.
other. And we've got to hang on to that, and we've got to build on that, because that's so critical for our community and for our children and for our world.
Absolutely. I can see that kindness, that hope,
Mm.
even just in some of the little groups I'm a part of on Facebook, where folks are jumping in and like offering to bring food to seniors who don't know how to download like Uber Eats or DoorDash. Like just this desire to serve your neighbors, to be helpful, to make sure folks know they're not alone in all of this. I've definitely seen that too. So what's one question that like I didn't think to ask that I should have asked you here in this?
Gosh, I don't know. I think you did a pretty thorough
Well,
job.
great. Well, great. Yeah, I think it's been a fun season for us. We're big fans of the Chamber. It's one of our, as an agency, it's one of our favorite things to do, to get to be a part of it. We especially miss the Sunrise Scramblers, to getting to get to see folks. Just this last week, Ryan from Thrive Restaurant Group last month, when he shared, just did such a great job on highlighting part of how to build that dynamic culture. And I think we're seeing some of the need for that in organizations. Like if your organization wasn't healthy before, this, COVID-19, like for folks who have underlying health concerns, like it's exposed all of that, trying to figure out how to work from home if you're not healthy. And so it's definitely been something that's important to us. So we're looking forward to getting back, but it's also been fun to see you guys engage with folks and draw folks in and help to share kind of resources. I know we've taken advantage of some of those already and are looking forward to what's coming up. So what are some of the best ways to connect with you, connect with the Chamber, kind of keep up, like, especially like that daily checklist? Like, where are some ways to do that?
Okay. Well, I think that, you kind of alluded to this before. It is like a fire hose of information right now, and it's really hard to process all of it. So we're kind of taking both approaches. So when we learn about something, because we have members sharing and staff sharing, we try to share that right away on our social media channels. So if you're following us on Twitter or Facebook, when the Kansas Department of Commerce makes an announcement, or the governor makes an announcement, or anything that affects business, we're trying to share that as quickly as possible on our social media channels. But then Monica Poe on our team, who is overseeing the Wichita Resource Center, she's really kind of paring that down to what are the essential things business needs to know. And she's tracking that on that Wichita resource page, which is wichitachamber.com/COVID/-19. And so perhaps if you missed a Facebook Live event or a webinar, she's posting those recordings under certain categories. So if you're worried about employment, or you're looking for financial tools. So there are kind of a couple of ways we're trying to share that, so we can be more things to more people. So I would say follow our social media channels, particularly Twitter and Facebook, but we are also posting on Instagram. That's still a great platform for us. And of course, LinkedIn as well. And then I would strongly recommend that landing page, where we're trying to keep it organized. There are a million ways to organize that information, but I think Monica's picked a really great way to organize it in terms of looking for topics, and then looking to see, is this an upcoming event or a past event where I can still access the information.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time to do this and kind of share what you guys are doing. We're going to continue to watch as you experiment and grow, and just so thankful to have you guys as such a dynamic leader in our community. The Chamber just does such a great job. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's members like you that make it all worthwhile. And it's our role to make sure that you thrive and survive and do really well. And so we want that to happen for all of our members and all of our business community.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Angie.
Thank you.